Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching me from. How are you all doing? How you doing? What's going on with you today? How has your Saturday been? All right. Come in, guys. Let's discuss today's interesting topic. Let's talk about it today. If you're a Nigerian, get in here. If you're from Africa, get in here. Let's talk about election in Nigeria and what is going on. So I'm going to ask again, how are you doing? And if you're meeting me for the first time, is your truly Oyoyo. Thank you for joining me today on another beautiful Saturday that the Lord has made. And the weather today for me is okay, but we heard that we're going to have snow starting very soon. The temperature is at 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Hopefully, it's going to be a shallow snow because, guys, I am tired of the winter. Okay. So how you all doing? Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like this live stream. Don't forget to share this live stream. And don't forget to add your own comment in the discussion. So today I'm talking about what is INEC above the law. INEC is the independent, according to them, the meaning of INEC is Independent National Electoral Commission. So they're the ones that handle elections in Nigeria. But from the look of things and information making the news, and also from the campaign spokesperson of Labour Party, we have a lot to discuss. We have a lot to discuss. They're already screaming. They're calling out INEC and saying all the manner of everything INEC is doing. They are speaking out. And it's really getting too much because I don't want to believe anymore there is law in that country that that the bodies, independent bodies, are afraid of the justice system. I don't want to believe that. But in all of that, we'll be discussing all of that today. Thank you for joining me. Amarachi, thank you for being here. Beautiful. Thank you. I hope your Saturday has been nothing but kind to you. All right. Why am I talking about INEC being above the law? I wanted to discuss a familiar topic today where we talk about women and family and all of that. But I read in the news from the campaign spokesperson of Labour Party, in the person of Barrister Kenneth Okonkwo. He made a very lengthy post on his Instagram, calling out INEC for who they are. I will try to see if I can read up that, but it's over 4 paragraphs, so I might not be reading all of that. But I can do a summation of what he wrote. So let me go through it. So he said he called on Mahmudu, who is the INEC chairman, invitation to anarchy. That's how he titled his message. Kenneth Okonkwo said the most unfortunate and traumatic thing that will happen to this country is to have a criminal gang to be in charge of its affairs. He further stated, it is no longer news that the February 25th presidential election was rigged. What's baffling is the level of impunity that is associated with the rigging. He went on to say that he recalled that INEC was meant by law to transmit the result of the election recorded in the BVAS from the polling unit on February 25th, 2023, to the viewing pleasure of all Nigerians. This they willingly failed, refused, neglected to do even 14 days after the election. And why they delayed it, according to Kenneth Okonkwo, he said, to give them room to rig the election against Labour Party. Kenneth Okonkwo continued to say that our Labour Party has only 21 days to file our case against the rigging of INEC at the Court of Appeal and needs evidence of the manipulated result to enable us file the same claim. Mahmoud is the INEC chairman, refused to grant us access to inspect our results before configuring the BVAS. We went to court. We got an order to inspect our results. INEC refused to obey the order of the court. Rather, went back to court to get order to configure the BVAS, using the next election as an excuse. The court restated its position that we should be granted access to the results, but granted INEC the right to configure the BVAS for the next election. INEC started, okay, let's take it here. Thank you, Rosie's Glam. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you so much. I appreciate. So, Kenneth Okonkwo further stated that INEC started configuring the BVAS and still refused to grant us access to inspect the results. So remember, Peter Obi of Labour Party, the presidential candidate of Labour Party, went to court, against the processes of INEC and the manipulation and the rigging of the 25th of February election. And the court granted Peter Obi, Labour Party, and even PDP, Atiku, access to inspect the election result, to inspect the BVAS. INEC up till this morning, up till today, has not given Labour Party access to inspect those BVAS results. Rather, what they did was to go back to court to get an order to reconfigure BVAS. So reconfigure BVAS, when that happened within the week, a lot of people cried out that that is an opportunity for them to cover their tracks. It's an opportunity for them to cover every loopholes, to change everything, so that they will not have those data for February 25th presidential election. As if that was not enough, grant these people, Labour Party, Peter Obi, and even Atiku, PDP, the access to inspect election results in the BVAS. They refuse. I'm talking about as of right now, they have not been granted that particular access. So this guy, he's a campaign spokesperson for Labour Party in the person of Kenneth Okonkwo. Thank you, Party Yaba. Thank you for joining me today. So Kenneth Okonkwo continued by saying, they are using the opportunity to continue manipulating the result and frustrating our efforts to file our petition in the court. We have just 11 days left. 11 days left to file our petition. And INEC has refused to obey the court order to allow us access to our results. 11 days only. So after the whole thing, he gave mandate that they are giving INEC up until Monday, which will be, today is the 11th, Sunday is the 12th, Monday will be the 13th of March. They are giving INEC Monday to allow them inspect the BVAS results. Guys, what do you guys think? What is going on in Nigeria? Nobody obeys the rule of law. They should scrap the judicial system. Let everybody know there is no judicial system in Nigeria. If they cannot obey the orders of the court, they should scrap the judicial system. So if you have a problem, there will be no what? You just go to police to report and it ends there. Nobody goes to court. You can't tell me the court of higher authority, like court of appeal, should give an order to an so-called independent body handling election. And that particular body, which is still government agency, government parastatal, cannot honor the orders of the court. There is no order. What are they called? What is going on in Nigeria? What is going on in Nigeria? And when you look at it, everywhere is calm. I'm not seeing people with placards marching or rolling the street because they've shut down the youth when they did Lekki Toll Gate. But are we going to sit back and watch? This is a question. So he continued to say, there is no limit to endurance. This is Kenneth Okonkwo, who is the campaign spokesperson of Labour Party. He said there is a limit to endurance. This action is an invitation to anarchy by Mahmood INEC, which is the chairman of the INEC, and the APC ruling party. So he's calling out INEC chairman, APC ruling party. We can no longer tolerate this obvious criminality against Nigerian people. We therefore tell our obedient nationwide to reject this impunity and conspiracy against due process intended to perfect their rigging agenda against our mandate. Woo! We hereby give INEC, so the Labour Party giving INEC till Monday the 13th of March to do the needful as their deadline to comply with the orders of the court or face the wrath of God and the obedient. A stitch in time saves nine. That is according to Kenneth Okonkwo of the Labour Party, who is the presidential spokesperson of Labour Party. That was what he wrote this morning. Actually, as a matter of fact, that was 2 hours ago, as a matter of fact. So, guys, you see what we are talking about. INEC is now acting above the law. Is there still judicial system in Nigeria? Do they still obey court orders? I've seen instances in the past where court orders are disregarded and they walk away with it without any cost. I've not seen them jail anybody or put anybody in prison or even fine anybody for that. I'm going to give a case in hand of Fani Kayode, the parrot now speaking on behalf of APC. What he did to his ex-partner. For 2 years, the court granted that woman access to her child. And this same man, because he has political power, deprived the woman access to her children for whole 2 years until people started signing petition to, to seek for help from International Court of Justice before they now settled the matter out of court. We did not hear that Fani Kayode was fined by the court for disobeying the court order. We did not hear that he went to jail for disobeying the court order. So Nigeria is turning gradually a state whereby the judicial system has no power. And this is a country they try to make it look like they have independency of judiciary, executive, and the legislatures. But it's obvious that there is no independency here. If the president is saying one, which is the president is under the executive, is if saying one, then judiciary is saying the same thing the president is saying. I made a live stream here saying that I'm giving Nigerian judicial system and even Nigerian government the benefit of a doubt. Let them prove me wrong. Let them prove me wrong if they are going to do the right thing. And it's beginning to look like they are never ready to do the right thing. It's unfortunate that this is happening. It's very unfortunate. And you'll be wondering, why is nobody talking about, why are people not talking about it? They have another election coming up on Saturday. P2B and his team, they're busy campaigning for their state assemblies people, for their gubernatorial candidates. That's what Peter is doing now. As a matter of fact, he's been to Edo, Anambra State. He's going state by state to support the candidacy of Labour Party for the governorship election and the state assembly. He's doing the right thing. He has engaged lawyers, a lot of sand, to handle this. They are doing what they are supposed to do. They have actually gone to court. They've gotten judgment to inspect these BVAS. Then why is INEC not obeying the court order? Why do you think they have so much confidence, sitting tight, not minding what the court has said? Who is INEC reporting to? Is INEC truly an independent electoral commission? Is it truly independent? This is the question we should be asking. INEC is indeed not independent. He's answerable to, is obvious, the ruling party. Because you can't tell me that the president is on the other side saying, if you don't like the election decision, go to court. They've gone to court. You're hearing what is happening. They are letting you know. They are informing you. And you have not called INEC to order. The next thing they will tell me, no, that he's an executive. He has nothing to do with INEC. INEC is an independent body. They have their constitution they are working with. They should be obeying. They INEC know the right thing. They should obey the court order. When you see that things are not going right in the country you claim to be Mr. President for, you have to speak up. You have to call them to order. But somebody will say, why would they do that? After all, when there were some governors went to court over the federal government and the CBN, telling them not to discontinue the usage of the old notes, did the federal government itself obey the court order? No. You can see nobody is obeying the court order in Nigeria. Then why do they still have judicial system? They should scrap it. If the president is not obeying the judicial system, what do you expect of INEC chairman Mahmood? Of course, the president did not obey. He's following his father. That is what the state they are making Nigeria now, whereby the poor masses cannot trust the judicial system, that if you have a case tomorrow, you go to court and get justice. It is the height of it right now. It is. Thank you guys for joining me here. My Facebook friends, my Facebook buddies, thank you guys so much. Claudette, James, thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Good morning to you, beautiful. How are you doing today? Mercy Akibo, thank you for being here. Greetings to you as well. Me Weight Loss, thank you, amazing, amazing woman. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Please share this video as well if you can on your Facebook wall, on your community page on YouTube. Let people learn their voices. I love my live stream to be conversational, so we can all share our various opinions on what is discussed in my live stream. Thank you guys for being here. Honestly, when I read this story this morning, I was taken aback. That wasn't what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about something different based on a live stream I watched yesterday. But when I saw this 2 hours ago, it took me that length of time to make up my mind on what to discuss. So I decided to come and talk about this because I need people to air their own opinion. What do you guys think is happening in Nigeria? They claim to be the giant of Africa. As far as I'm concerned, they are no longer the giant of anything. Maybe in terms of numbers, because they are the most populous Black nation in the world. Yes, in terms of numbers, you can say they are. But I tell you, Nigeria is no longer the giant of anything. I read in the news, from Channels News to Arise Television to blogs, them saying President Buhari to receive award for free and fair election. I said, which election is free and which election is fair? What are these people talking about? Is it not the same election that we saw? Is there any different election? What are they talking about? Which election are they looking at as free and fair? Which election? I was like, these people, they will never stop taking Nigerians for granted because they know nobody is interested in doing anything. It's quite unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate what is happening. And I really pray and hope that the needful will be done, that people will do the needful. I really pray and hope. So I'll be dropping my link very soon. If you have contribution to make in our discussion today, my question is INEC above the law? INEC shouldn't be above the law. INEC should respect the orders of the Court of Appeal. It's not even customary court we are talking about. It's not high court. It's not federal court. We are talking about Court of Appeal. If they can look Court of Appeal in the face and disregard Court of Appeal, what else do you guys expect? What do you guys expect? INEC should obey the Court of Appeal. They should obey the Court of Appeal. They should grant Labour Party the opportunity to inspect the election materials. It's not when they finish manipulating the whole result, they will now say, okay, come and inspect. Or maybe they will give them access a day to the last day for them to file. Let me walk us through from my legal point of view as a lawyer in Nigeria. Let me walk you guys through. When you do an election, from the day the result was announced and you disagree with the result of that election, you have only 21 days to petition, whereby you're petitioning after 30 days, you've lost it. So within that 21 days, you have to make your case known. That petition would have been filed and then proceed in your hearing stated. But look at it. Now, Labour Party cannot proceed further because they need to get materials, which will be evidence for them to petition. But INEC is depriving them the power to do so. What do you guys think? So INEC is now above the law. Thank you guys for joining me. Jojo, thank you for being here. Joseph, my amazing brother, thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all of you for joining me today. I appreciate all of you. So the thing is, from the look of things, they are bent on manipulating this result. They are bent on covering all their loopholes. They are serious about this. And the youth o'clock, the young people of Nigeria should be aware of what is going on. Do not just fold your hands and say, after all, I voted and now I'm not going to vote again. I was watching somebody's video this morning why I don't want to participate in a Nigerian election anymore. I said, just one try, you're already giving up. And then the thing is, when people talk about freedom, freedom is not something you just go to a walk in the park. No, you have to demand for it. You have to show interest and not giving up spirit. It's not because they did this in presidential election, you will not vote again. Another election is coming soon. And it's the time for you guys to even come out in larger number. Because they told you guys that Labour Party had no structure, which is the truth, no, the obvious truth. But look at now. You've given in the Federal House of Assembly, they have House of Representatives, Federal, they have over 73. In Senate, they have about 5 or 7 in Senate. Down they have structure. What is required in the next election is for them to have governors. Imagine if Labour Party should produce governors. Let's assume they do a sweep clean sweep of this election, and they have governors in Labour Party. You, the youth, brought this structure. And it's a kudos to all of you. It's not time for you to give up. It's not time for you to throw in the towel. After all, the one I voted, I suffered. I waited for 2 days and all of that, under the rain, under the sun. I'm not doing it again. No. That is their plan to frustrate you guys. Remember how they changed Naira automatically to make people hungry, so that if they give a youth copper 5,000 Naira new notes, the copper will be jumping. Or I even learned it was dollars they were sharing. They did all of those statically to make you guys so confused, so withdrawn. But despite all those circumstances, you guys marched to the poll and voted your peace, voted for your victory, voted for your freedom. In as much as it's being deprived, do not give up hope. You don't throw in the towel when the heat. No, you continue to press until justice is given. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Oh, thank you, Uju. That is Nigerian for you. Absolutely. Beauty by NJ. How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing? Thank you guys for joining me. When I read this information, this news from the presidential spokesperson of Labour Party, I was like, I sat down, I saw that 22 seconds when he posted it, because I follow him on Instagram. So I started reading it. I was pondering. I said, has Nigeria gotten to this? Whereby a whole court of appeal decision, guys, is disregarded by INEC. Another federal parastatal. Imagine another federal parastatal disobeying INEC order. Guys, what do you guys expect? Buhari disobeyed the Court of Appeal order when some governors went to court that they should extend the old note. No, he disobeyed that. He went in and said he only allowing 200 Naira old notes and 1,000 is off. That is disobeying the Court of Appeal. And what happened? Are you hearing any case prosecuting anybody? No. Now they are disobeying the federal order to give them it. Let me put it back in perspective so that you guys can understand. If I contested an election in Nigeria, for example, and then my opponent won, right? And I feel that it wasn't a fair judgment, I have 21 days only to file my petition in the tribunal under the Court of Appeal. Now, Labour Party went to Court of Appeal. They got the order so that they can obtain evidence from the BVAS. BVAS will be the real vote that were casted, because they have pictures of anybody voting. They have thumbprint of anybody that voted. So they needed to get those pictures of those that were captured, those that voted actually on the election day, and their thumbprint. But INEC refused. They now went to court. Court of Appeal gave them the order. INEC obey this order, grant Peter Obi of Labour Party, grant Atiku Abubakar of PDP the right to access the BIVAS to get materials for their case in the tribunal. Up until now, I'm not talking about yesterday, now, INEC has refused access to these people. And today is Saturday. Nigeria is a country where Saturday and Sunday there is no work. Even if you go to hospital, general hospital, Saturday and Sunday, you're on your own. If you're being jailed in the prison on Saturday and Sunday, you'll be there until Monday. So it's a country that works just for 5 days. So as of today, they have not granted them access to get real voters information from BVAS. Now they have 11 days left to petition. If 11 days passes and they did not petition before the electoral petition, that means they've lost the chance. It's closed. It's not something you reopen. I need us to understand the game these people are playing. And this is the opportunity for the youth o'clock in Nigeria to match in their numbers on Saturday, a week from today. Make sure you give Labour Party the structure they need. Make sure, because this is now is intimidating tactics, because they are in power, they have the authority. That's why nobody is obeying anything. And if you cannot obey the Court of Appeals order, you should better still scrap the judicial system, so that you will now know that what you have in Nigeria is the legislators and executive. I think it will be fair if there is no judicial system, because nobody is obeying the courts anymore. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me know. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for joining me today. Joseph is telling us it is glaring that INEC are up to something. It is very obvious they are up to something. And this is so disheartening. When I read that, I was like, oh my goodness, they got this judgment. Up until now, they have not assessed any of INEC materials. They don't want them to have evidence to go to petition. What are you going to petition if you don't have evidence? But if they had been granted the access, don't you think that INEC by now should have given them access to inspect those things? If the election was truly fair and free, like the president claimed. The president said, if you complain, go to court. They went to court. The court INEC is not honoring the court order. And the president hasn't said a thing. All he has said, if you don't agree, go to court. Why is it that the president up until now has not addressed the nation regarding this issue? Because it's of no interest to him. I want to believe that. Olakayode, thank you for joining me. Unfortunately, Nigeria is not a democratic state. You have every right to say this, Olakayode. You have every right to say it. And I can't agree less. I can't agree less on this. I cannot. You said it right. It's not a democratic state. They should as well scrap up the judicial system, so that when we have a problem, if anybody having a problem in Nigeria should just go to the police and report. After the police, you go home. There is no point of going to court if they cannot obey the court order. The next thing they will think, okay, go to Supreme Court. By the time they finish the battle and fought, the remaining 11 days for you to petition, if you disagree with the election result, will be over. Then they will tell you, yeah, they did not go to court. After all, the president will say, I told them to go to court. They did not go to court. So the time has elapsed. Guys, thank you. Okay, Yusuf, thank you for being here. Chomi Creative, thank you, my beautiful sister. All of you, God bless you guys. Real good for lending your voices. I really appreciate. Okay, Yusuf say law is not working in Nigeria anymore. You can say that again. It's very glaring. It's very obvious. You don't even need to search. You just see it on your face. This guy made a plea. I watched it on somebody's YouTube channel. I think it's Okocha TV. I can't remember the full name. Where this guy Rufai of Arise TV. Oh my goodness! After watching that, I cried. You could see even hear in his voice how he has lost hope on what INEC is doing. I was like, what is going on here? What is going? Is it by force you force a wrong candidate as the people's choice? The rule of law, why can't you uphold it? Why are you guys training lawyers every day, appointing judges up and down, up to Court of Appeal, Supreme Court, and you cannot obey simple court order? What INEC did was to run back to Court of Appeal to get the order to configure. Even before configure, it was expected that you allow these two political parties opposing the election result to inspect this material, get the ones they will get, and before you start configuring. No. What they are doing now, they are configuring every data. of the election. Guys know what it means to configure. I'm giving you a layman's understanding. If you buy a new laptop and then you want to transfer the things from your old laptop, you understand, to the new one, you can either transfer all your information to the new one so that you continue to have access to your information that's already stored, or you can erase it. And in the old one, let me even backtrack. If you have an old laptop, you want to remove everything from, you can configure the setting of your laptop so that you don't have the old record. That is what INEC is doing. They're already doing configuration without giving Labour Party, P2B of Labour Party, and PDP, Atiku Abubakar of PDP, the access to election materials, election results. This is a result that is already passed. They have up till now denied them access. Tell me, INEC is acting as if they are Lord and Master. There is no rule of law anywhere in Nigeria. Those laws are just for theories, for students to go and study theories in law, then in practice is not working. It's so sad. Roses Glam said APC has made Nigeria to amount to nothing, lawless country. Bam. You said it right, beautiful. You said it right. That is exactly what it is now. Tallest Man said INEC also appealed to the judgment because of reconfiguration. Yeah, INEC appealed. They granted INEC the access to reconfigure for the next election coming up on Saturday. But then the court still stands the order to allow Labour Party and PDP access to inspect the BVAS and IReV used for the presidential election. That order stands. It was not overturned. The order stands. And up till now, they have not given them that access to inspect. They have 11 days left to file for petition. If you don't file after 11 days, forget it. You don't have any chance. You've lost your chance in courts. You can't be heard. So all this dilly-dallying, wasting of time, what do you guys make out of it? They want to now give them access on the 10th day, which will now be one more day for them to file. And you need to inspect your material. Your lawyers need to go through all the evidence they have to gather before going to court. We know how these things work in Nigeria. They have turned that place a lawless place. Until Nigeria embark on mass protests to INEC and let them know the implication of their atrocity. See, I can agree less Kayode. You said it right. And they are looking for international bodies to help them. They cannot help you when you don't ask for help. I've not seen people with placards demanding their rights. Everybody is going on as if nothing happened, doing their business because they are used to same old. It's not my business. It does not concern me. But when they go to the market, they will start making videos. Hey, the cost of things in Nigeria is very expensive. 20,000 naira cannot buy you anything. Now you have the right to speak, to lend your voice. You have a platform. You're a YouTuber. You're on Instagram. You're on Facebook. How many of those issues have you highlighted? But you will be number one person to make videos about the cost of food in the market. This is the time for you guys to speak up. Kenneth Okonkwo, the presidential spokesperson of Labour Party, said it. Enough is enough. They are giving INEC till Monday the 13th to allow them access to inspect these materials. And I want to believe throughout this weekend, INEC is busy manipulating whatever they want to do. They are seriously, with all their IT engineers, changing everything, so that by the time they are done, they will give you empty beaver for you to go and inspect. And people are just quiet as though nothing happened. Don't live under intimidation. Don't let anybody deprive you of what is your right. You voted for the right candidate. You guys know the truth. You guys took pictures of your polling unit. This is the time to make use of them. Learn your own voice. All right, Caleb said, I'm very happy for this conversation. Thank you so much, Caleb News. I really appreciate. Very soon, Agboro people will take over the House of Assembly and passing law with their rusty teeth. Ooh, you are so right here. Nigeria hasn't, they've not understood what hits the country. They've not understood it. You know, somebody was telling people in Abuja that they should start relocating because very soon the Agboro people will take over Abuja. They've not understood the magnitude of what they are going in for. But I really pray they will say it. I really pray. You can't be making, you have and they passed Electoral Act 2022 last year to make sure that this year's election, goes on smoothly, free and fair. Everybody will be pleased, at least reasonably satisfied, right? And then that Electoral Act they passed guiding INEC was not followed. And what are people saying? Zilch. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Being a beauty by NJ, giving up is not an option. I tell you, giving up is not an option. Our hope, God and Obi. See, God has done his own part. Nigeria, if you really ask me, they pray too much, but they don't act. The young people came out and voted. A lot of them are so discouraged. They don't want to vote again. They feel their vote will never count. But I'm telling you, that your vote you voted on the presidential election, didn't you see how governors are now beginning to be playful with regular citizens? We saw the governor of Lagos State walked into a shopping mall in Ikeja, bought an ice cream, walking. We didn't see all those barricade securities with their guns anymore. He came like a regular citizen with few orderlies, but we were not seeing them carrying all those guns they used to carry when they follow governors, right? And then he went on to greeting people in ShopRite. What is that telling you guys, Nigeria? It's telling you guys that they've heard your voice. The youth o'clock, they felt your impact in the last election. They are all shaken. They are having sleepless nights in the next election. That is what is going on now. Make sure you still have your PVA. Let them know that this is the youth time, that the youth of Nigeria, you've arisen. Let them know that you people are very much awake, that you people want to better government, you want better infrastructures, you want everything to be working on well in that country. This is the time, youth o'clock. Let them feel the impact. Don't give up. If you voted in presidential election, don't lose hope. This is the time for you to even campaign more and tell your friends that did not vote in the last election that this time we are going to give it 99. Everybody clear the whole election. Let them know that youth are tired. Let them know that you people, you don't want same old, you want a change. In Nigeria, you'll be proud of. A country you'll be proud of. You can beat your chest and say you are in Nigeria when things are working. Let them continue to feel this impact. Don't give up if you're a youth in Nigeria. Don't give up. Don't say because of what they did in the last election, you cannot vote. No. This is the time you're going to vote and you're going to bring your friend to vote. This is the time. Don't destroy your BIVAS card. No. This is the time to lend your voice. Look at what they are doing with the petition. Look at what they are doing with P2B has gone to court. People don't understand. Going to court is to get order for an evidence, which up to now they have not gotten the evidence to go to court and petition. They have not petitioned the election. Let everybody know it now. And if they don't petition in the next 11 days, they will lose this whole case. This is the time for people to be aware of what is going on. They are using delay tactics. Do not give them that opportunity. Don't. All right, I'm going to read some comments and then we are going to continue. Is youth o'clock. Thank you, Oga Pretty. Hey, Oga Pretty, yay! Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Kayode said, if the INEC decided to deny access to electoral material, the evidence and the result that were snapped at the polling units across is sufficient. Yes, they are sufficient. That is true. Olukayode, thank you so much for this. The evidence that are in people's phones are sufficient. But you know what? It will make no sense if the petition did not go to election tribunal. It will make no sense. If they dilly-dally, and this remaining 11 days passes, they don't have right to file again against this result. That is where the bottleneck is now. The time is fast, running. They are running against time because they have how many lawyers that need to review this document. They have a team of engineers that will review the BIVAS, review everything. So they need to have access to those information and then take those information as their evidence before they approach the election tribunal for petition. They have not petitioned. I need us to understand it. They have not. Oga Pretty, thank you for the amazing super chat. Oh, God bless you, real good. I appreciate. Prince Park said both Salowu of Lagos and Desmond here will hear from us. Hi, yeah. That Desmond's own. I don't even know how to make out of Desmond. Desmond, everybody used to like when he was a Nollywood actor. This guy became a politician and changed. Do you know? And the last election, before this one, 4 years ago, he went and rebuilt. In Lagos, there are some places they have canals. Then the community people use the ordinary wood to connect the distance from the market to where you now meet a level ground to continue. That was the bridge Desmond claimed he built for them with wood, not even with concrete, not with cement. And he was so proud to say another bridge built by Desmond for his constituency. Now, election is just next week. He started buying transformer for Surulere. If the youth o'clock in Surulere, if they don't do something this time, I will pity them. This guy has no empathy about the people that you are working for. Remember, you guys employ the politician to work. They are working for you guys. But the reverse is the case in Nigeria. I remember in the States when somebody was going through, they denied his mother visa in the US, and the woman needed a treatment. Because he's an American citizen, he called the office of his House of Assembly, and then they gave him time for a chat. Then he discussed with them, my mother is ill, and the next thing they did, they've sent letters straight to Lagos Embassy. This happened like in 2029. They sent letters straight to the Lagos Embassy that my constituent person from my constituency, he wrote it with the office of the House of Assembly, USA, wrote to the American embassy in Nigeria, telling them that please, this same woman with name like with so name, passport number, has to be interviewed, that he needs to visit his child to get medical treatment. The politicians work for you. They work for you. You guys are the one paying their salary because it's your taxpayers' money that the government is using to service their fees. But anyway, let's see what will happen when election come. That Desmond is not supposed to be there. He has no empathy about his constituency. He does not even understand it. He only remembers them during election time. But youth o'clock, I trust you guys to do the needful. We don't understand Rusty coming president. We need active president. CM. CM. Thank you so much, Oga Pretty, for the super chat. Udo Prince, INEC should be aware that Nigerian youth are very calm because our president said we should not protest. INEC don't wake the sleeping lion. Ha! Ha! They're already waking the sleeping lion because when Kenneth Okonkwo, who is the presidential spokesperson of P2B, when he wrote this morning, I wept. It took me 2 hours to get over my, the pity angle of it. I was like, how could this be? They have only 11 days to file their petition. If the 11 days passes, that means P2B will never file again. That means the case is over. So when I read this, I said, we have just 11 days left to file our petition, and INEC has refused to obey the court order to allow us access to our results. No, think about it. INEC is acting as though they are above the law. Court of Appeal gave you orders to allow these political parties access to inspect BVAS for their case in court, which is a very sensitive case because it has time limits to file. 21 days from the day election result was announced. But INEC up until today, I'm not talking about Friday, today, Saturday, this presidential spokesperson wrote this today. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate all of you. Christopher, thank you for being here. The most disrespectful act of Nigeria was to rig our election in broad daylight, in front of our eyes, and tell us to accept it. How is that even okay? How? I don't even know what else to say. Most disrespectful act to Nigerian. You see, everybody is feeling the pain except the people that stand to benefit from it. That's why they are doing all the delay tactics to make sure the time elapses so that these people will not have the opportunity to file. 11 days left from today, according to the spokesperson of Labour Party. 11 days left. Whichever way, Tinubu will never be our Aso Rock, will never be at Aso Rock and his party in Lagos, no. Sincerely, let the youth continue to march forward. This election, when I heard the result of Labour Party, despite the fact that they rigged the presidential, but when I heard the Congress that they won, I said these people without a structure, Nigerian youths are awake. I remember making several live streams. I made a live stream calling on Nigerian youth, calling on people in Nigeria to come out and vote. That even on the election day, I was live telling people, don't sit at home, don't watch Netflix, don't watch videos, go out there. I know it might be sunny, it might rain, enjoy it, let your voice be heard. Those were the live stream I made on a Thursday before the election and on the election day. And when the election happened, when I saw the result, I said the youth are awake. The youth are tired of suffering and smiling. Every small thing, they make joke out of it so that you can at least laugh. Because that is what gives them joy and fulfillment. They're tired of same old, same old. I was so impressed of what they did, how they voted. Even those that call them people without structure are coming now. Hey, familiarity with the youth. Hey, how are you? That shoe size. When I saw the Lagos state governor in the mall asking for you, so you know my shoe size, I was like, really? So this is what election has brought. It could only be because of what youth did in this last election, how the youth shook the whole of Nigeria. A young man in Kaduna State that had finished university for many years without a job, he turned to driving keke to at least feed himself and his family. The Labour Party put him in power. There is hope for the youth in Nigeria. There is serious hope. I saw a video whereby somebody was like, what experience do this person have? What experience do they... Okay, let me ask. The person they brought to rule Lagos in the last election, has he ever been a governor before? No. Was he in any house of assembly before? No. He was working in the state government. He was a civil servant. That was all. So anybody can lead. Give them the chance to lead. Give the young folks the chance. They are brilliant. They are talented. They have things they can offer. But no, great-grandparents are still sitting there. They don't want to give them the chance to lead. Let your voice be heard. Just like you guys sounded the drum on the 25th of February. Sound it even louder in the coming election. Let them know that the youth are awake. And also, with this BVAS thing they are doing, with the election petition going on that they are delaying, be rest assured there is only 11 days that is left. Use your platform to ask them to do something. Use it. Thank you guys for Prince Park. Thank you for being here. As for me and my family, we are voting LUP, 79, LUP, 78, LUP, 75, LUP. Oh, yes. So that is a new song now in Nigerian space. LUP. Oga Pretty, thank you so much. Cornelius Ejike, thank you. Nigeria is mature for revolution, which is to consume Mamodu. Sincerely speaking, I really hope they will understand it. I really hope they will understand it that they should not just keep quiet. They should not just go on as if nothing is happening. This is going to be another 8 years of intense hardship. And this one is going to come with serious Aboro lifestyle. It's not even the intense hardship that you know you're suffering. You come with intimidation because the Aboros will be enabled. People should know what is coming. Yes, the canal is a shelter. That's my area. Something that can cost a carpenter 100,000 or less. He told us he used 800,000 to do it. When I saw that, I was like, this guy no even get shame at all. You don't carry any shame for his name or his face or anything that represents him. How could you use and you took a picture and you're so proud that this is the bridge you built for your constituency? I was like, really? Anyway, they will say because nobody is complaining, that's why. Nobody is complaining. Desmond Elliot is a sad case. I hope the people of Surulere will do the needful this coming election. Let them do the needful this coming election. Anybody that you guys see the track record is not straight to you, he has been there, he did not prove anything. This is the time to vote them out and tell them bye. Nigeria needs some competent hands. Nigeria needs people that have human sympathies, human souls, people that can understand the pain a market woman goes through when you cannot sell your goods, people that can understand that the roads are bad to even convey the goods from the farm to the market. Let them understand that the youths are awake. Let them get the message by your action on the next coming election. And also remember that you, Labour Party and PDP, they have 11 days left to petition. After the 11 days, you can no longer petition. The case is dead. That is the position of the law. You guys need to know that. But until all the elective offices in Nigeria are made less attractive before we can get things right. This is very true. See, made less attractive. Do you know it's the human beings that made it that attractive? Because they have salary structures we they should work with, we they should earn. But because they have access to signed contracts, you understand, and nobody's holding anybody accountable, that's why they will use the money meant to develop their state, their constituency, their communities, and use the money and do otherwise. Oftentimes, they even give contract to their girlfriends, that's why they have side chicks everywhere in Nigeria. And the side chicks are flying private jets, while the ordinary citizens cannot even feed 3 square meals a day. They will give the contract to their girlfriends, to their family members, and they will do shady jobs and write it out with government funds. The government funds here, for people that do not understand, are your money. If you have a store, even if it's a kiosk, you're paying tax to your council, you're paying tax to your local government. Those are money they are using to pay, to sponsor their side chicks to travel to Dubai and come back and do Instagram posts and be doing shakara for you. Is your funds. Hold these people accountable. And the way to hold them accountable, show them in the next election that you guys are ready, that you guys are awake. Go out there and speak your mind. And remember, 11 days, according to presidential spokesperson of Labour Party, is remaining 11 days for them to petition for this presidential election. All right. Oga Pretty said INEC is a disappointment, honestly. Is indeed a disappointment. Is indeed a disappointment, sincerely. KC on said Nigeria, you should start occupying the street now or they will win. That is the truth. That is the truth. This is the time for them to take action. This is the time for them to do the needful. This is the time for them to ask questions, speak up. Don't let anybody intimidate you. They felt your impact in the presidential election. Tell them that you still have the power. Because right now, nobody is going to throw you guys tear gas. Trust me, because of this election, nobody is going to throw any tear gas. Everybody is respecting the youth right now. Everybody is obeying the youth, being fair, behaving friendly, familiarizing with the youth. That's what they are doing now. The moment the election is over, to your tent, O Israel. But before the election is over, use that opportunity, this window you have to air your opinion. Use this window you have to state your mind. Use this window you have to ask for a change. It is possible. If it's done in the civilized society, it can be done in Nigeria. Do not let anybody intimidate you. Do not. This is not the time for that. Don't give up because the one for February 25th did not go as you anticipated. No. But you still have things to do. You still have things to do. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Choma. Please give me a thumbs up if you're watching me from out there. Like this video, share this video. Also contribute to the conversation, please. That's much you can do for me. I don't understand Nigerian lawyer and the law. And the law is INEC above Nigerian law that he can do anything he likes and nobody will talk. See, the process of the court is this: INEC has given Court of Appeal gave orders for INEC to obey, and the Labour Party and PDP, they've gone to INEC, approach INEC, INEC refuse. The next thing they will tell them is to go to go to Supreme Court. And we all know these things. You have time to file. You have time to proceed. You understand? Yeah, that's why they are using delay tactics, so that they will buy all the time and use the opportunity to change all the BVAS results. But what I don't understand with all these things they are doing, remember, according to what INEC and the BIVAS said, on the day of the election, they took pictures of those that voted. They did thumbprint of those. So everything is in line with the thumbprint. Your voter's card has a number attached to it. So if they're going to manipulate everything, are they going to import different people's faces? I don't understand that part, because that's why they are buying time, because they know they cannot be able to completely erase the data. Okay, trying to configure, you should have a back-end server that will contain everything uploaded in the February 25th election. But I will tell you, another excuse that the server cannot contain information, that the server is faulty. They tried to upload and it did not upload and it crashed. Don't be surprised if you hear that from INEC. Don't be. Thank you so much, Welly Fanny. I really appreciate the lawyers. They are disobeying the order of the court. If you don't like what they are doing, you have the right to go to the next court, which is the Supreme Court. But the thing is that they might be going to the next court with the Supreme Court. They will have time. You have a number of time before you can file. The order for you to appeal, if you feel that the election results are 21 days. Today is the 11th of March. They declared the election, I think, 4 days after. So start counting from that day. So they have 11 days out of the 21 days to file. 11 days left. If these people play all this ringamaro they're doing, and they will now come and tell them maybe on the last day for them to file, okay, you can now inspect the BVAS. I don't understand what is going on in Nigeria. You would think by now the president would have done something, because of course they've informed him that INEC is not doing anything. It's not giving them access. Nobody's saying anything. You would think the Attorney General by now would have been saying something. INEC, you have disobeyed the order of court. We are bringing an injunction against you, blah, blah. Nobody's saying anything, because they are all working in unison. All of them are serving the same master. They all want the same result. They all want the same agenda. That's why they are not saying anything. All right. Well, he's saying, what kind of a stupid a man do we put on seat, calling him president? His time is over. He can't even wait to go. He said he's tired already. He can't wait to leave. But this is the time for people to call INEC for who they are and what they are, and tell them to do the needful. Citizens have the right to demand INEC to do the right thing. The suffer is too much. We cannot afford anything again. Like anything is high, anything is high, no joy. Every day people are crying, still keeping hard working, but yet no change. Yes, I understand. That is the whole idea. They made some things so difficult for people so that people can give up. They took the naira off people's hands so that when they flash in your front $100 bill on the election day, newspaper will jump at it, because he has calculated, hey, $100. Wow, that is how much thousand? Hey, $100 will give me how much? 100 and something thousand, or 50. That is what they did. That naira thing wasn't for the masses anything. It wasn't to prevent any vote buying. They did it to make sure that people are so oppressed. Just like what happened during the Civil War. It was hunger that ended the war, not even anybody. Hunger ended the war in Nigeria. APC party are desperate. They are monsters. The youth are the government. We have the right to impeach the bad governance, but law does not. You're so right. The law is not does not make the youth useful. Yeah, the law is not helping. It's obvious that INEC is above the law. It's obvious by now Attorney General of the Federation is not saying anything. It's obvious that the president is not saying anything. They don't care. They don't want to care, because They are doing these delay tactics to make sure that by the time they are telling Labour Party to come and inspect, they might not have time left to file the petition against this presidential election. Labour Party 200. Hey, thank you so much, Becky. All of you, thank you for being here. I pray Nigeria gets better. Thank you, Oga Pretty. I really appreciate. Or don't Nigeria have constitution? They have constitution. Even the president disobeyed the rule of law. If you've been following Nigerian case, when they changed the Naira swap thing, they went to court. Some governors went to a court asking them to put the old notes back into circulation. The Court of Appeal granted them judgment. Then and asked them that CBN should release the old note. They should extend the old note to April something. Then the next morning, the president made a speech saying that he's allowing old 200 notes, and then 500 notes is no longer there. 1,000 notes can no longer be used. That is against the rule of law. They did not follow that rule of law. So if the president can disobey the rule of law, who is Mahmoud not to disobey? They are following, they know what they are doing. They think the Nigerian youth are silly, or they don't think, or they give up so quickly. That's why I'm saying they should not give up so quickly. INEC is refusing Labour Party access to BVAS, and there is a reason behind that. They are configuring the BVAS as we speak. The BVAS is going under configuration so that they can wipe out all the data. And by the time you go to court and ask for the back servers, you have the ones they've uploaded, they will come with the excuse that it crashed or it was hacked and they don't have it anymore. They are concentrating on the gubernatorial election and the State House of Assembly. They know what they are doing. They know their plan and they are working seriously, sleepless night to cover all the tracks. So by the time they release the BVAS machine, it is empty. You don't have anything to go to court with. When you don't have evidence to go to court, especially with this kind of Nigerian judicial system, you don't have any case to answer. You don't. That's what they are doing right now. Is Tinubu and INEC above the law? How can two people be above 250? Favor, ask me again. Ask me again. Ask me again. Ask me again. As it is now, I'm speechless with this question you're asking. Two people. What kind of money change hand between these two people? What kind of money? What kind of money? People sold their conscience. All these people I'm talking about, their kids are all overseas, including the INEC chairman. His kids are overseas in foreign lands. So if Nigeria should burn tomorrow, they don't care. The next thing, they are flying their private jet. They are out of Nigeria because they all have active visas. But the people, the mass, the citizens are the ones going to suffer. The poor people of Nigeria are the ones going to suffer. The pictures of the polling unit results are in the BVAS machine. Yes, and that's why they are trying to configure so that they will use the opportunity to erase all the picture, maybe import different pictures and put there. We don't know what they are doing, but they are doing something certainly at the back. They are doing something strong to cover their tracks, to cover every loophole. This morning, an Abuja resident discovered the election materials meant for Gombe State and Kwara State. These are people's votes that they casted already for Gombe State and Kwara State. Tell me what is that those materials were doing in the bush in Abuja. Somebody, a resident of Abuja, discovered those materials. It was in Punch News, Nigeria, this morning. So tell me, imagine Gombe State, where Gombe State is. Imagine where Kwara State. They dumped them in the forest in Abuja. Instead of taking those materials to collation center, because they've already put the one they wanted to upload in the collations and then took the real result and dumped in the bushes near refuse dump. That is the Nigeria we're talking about. They can go to any length to suppress the truth. They can go to any length so that the people's mandate will be deprived. It's sad. It's unfortunate. Especially in 2023. We are not talking about 1999 when Nigeria returned to democracy. We are not talking about that. I was listening to somebody on TV. They were talking about the Fela news, Fela song that Fela wrote was in 1978 or 1987, something like that. Democracy, anybody that knows Fela song will understand. The Fela saw this thing that is happening now before when he was alive. Fela has been long gone, but the same thing is still happening. The same thing. But I'm here to encourage the youth people not to give up. The youth o'clock in Nigeria, don't give up. Don't give up. Go Green Machine, British Labour Party. All I needed to know is to understand the whole situation. All right. Thank you for being here. Mommy Fechi, hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Amary's Kitchen. Well, if the INEC chairman is above Nigerian law, then we will all go our different ways because we cannot have a lawless country. Whatever he has in mind, that he feels he can humiliate the Supreme Court. Yes, his acting is like he's above the law. And when you think about the whole thing, if you even bring the issue of the Biafrans demanding for Biafra, they don't want Biafra to leave, and still they don't want to have a peaceful place where everybody is accepted, where the rule of law is obeyed. And if you guys that are in the federal are not obeying the rule of law, what do you expect the people in the villages? But Nigeria is interesting country. It's a country whereby they can imprison somebody for stealing fish in the market, but they will not imprison a public servant for embezzling billions of naira. That is the Nigerian situation. They will put you in jail for stealing fish because your children are hungry, but they will not put the man that squandered pension funds worth billions of naira in jail. That is the Nigeria situation. It's pathetic. It's sad, but that is what is happening. Buhari is on his own. Buhari is on his own. Okay, let me put it that way. He doesn't care whosoever. He's thinking of his cows in Daura. Yeah, Buhari is tired. Buhari wants to retire. So whatever you people are doing, make sure you have somebody May 29th or 25th for him to hand over. He doesn't care. He's not interested anymore. And that is not the attitude of somebody who is a patriotic Nigerian. It doesn't show because if you don't care for your citizens, if you're not concerned about what the majority of your citizens are talking about, you are not supposed to be a leader. If you don't feel the pain of a Nigerian graduate coming out of the university 10 years after no job, roaming the streets looking for job, no job. Rather, if there is any space in any employment, the director will put his cousin, his nephew, his niece in that place, whether they are competent to handle the position or not. They say, Imam Madu in Igbo, who you know, the influence you have, that's how you get jobs in Nigeria. That is the same old. But I'm so glad that the youth o'clock, they are awake now. The youth are speaking, and people should listen to them. They have young, vibrant Nigerians with talent, brilliantly beautiful Nigerians that can change the world and are changing the world. In every place they found themselves overseas, Nigerians are making impact. Those young minds are now awake because they want to be heard. They want to be given the opportunities. It's also their own country. It's not the country for the old politicians alone. It's our country. I love the slogan for Lagos State gubernatorial election candidate, our Lagos. Do you know? Anyway, let me greet some people so we can continue. Thank you, Trending Gist, for being here. I appreciate you. Michael is saying, if INEC Refuse Labor Party to check the BVAS, I think they are looking for bigger wahala. The bigger wahala is that they want the time to elapse so that they cannot file anymore. Thank you so much, Jane. Thank you for being here. Host, hi, host, everybody. Okay, waving. Was on your other channel hearing you reading comments, but could not see them. I then realized that you are on this channel. Yes, I am streaming live on both channels, Mommy Fechi. I'm streaming live on both channels. So you'll be seeing it on the two of them. Yeah, I read the statement of the spokesperson of Labour Party. He even put a new video after he made that post, which is a recorded video. So guys, you see? See, BIVAS is already clean. Into the Niger election. You see?
And I've been going on IReV and checking out results. But I decided to take the journey home, right? And this is IReV portal.
So he's posting further information.
Results for River State, Port Harcourt, LGA.
Let me see if you guys can hear.
So I decided to go take the journey home. So I scrolled down to River State, and River State is all the way at the bottom. Then I clicked into it. Then I decided to scroll down to find Port Harcourt local government. So I clicked into Port Harcourt local government. Interesting. Then I wanted to see what are the polling unit results in Ward 1, or Dominica Zimbo. I clicked into it. And dude, what you're about to see is a little shocking. So now I'm going to view the first polling unit result. I click into it. And guess what? This is a polling unit in Port Harcourt local government area. And the result that is uploaded, it's coming from Sokoto, a polling unit.
You guys heard that? What they did, the INEC did. If you go to some of the results on IReV, when you click on them, you'll either be seeing Sokoto results for Port Harcourt people, or you see somebody's Facebook picture on the IReV. So you see how they messed up the whole thing. Everything and every ploy is to cover their tracks. So you can see the election is completely flawed, but they don't want to recognize that. They don't want to even say, since the election is like this, I think what we need to do is to do a rerun of that presidential election. Like I said before, Buhari himself is tired. They are not interested about what is happening or what is going on. All he knows that let there be somebody that they've declared winner so I can hand over. The man is tired, he's retired. And if Buhari is this tired, what will now become of Tinubu? Tinubu is a grandpa, okay? We all know that. And a lot of times you see him mess up severally on the national television. You understand? So what will become of him? What? Anyway, let me continue. Thank you guys for joining me today. So I just played a little clip of what the presidential spokesperson of Labour Party discovered from the IReV, which is IReV is the one they used to capture people's faces and capture the result they uploaded to BIVAS. And what he saw was an eyesore. If you doubt anything I'm going, check him out, Kenneth Okonkwo on Instagram. You see everything listed there on his page. Nigeria is an organized, chaotic country, lawlessness country. You can say that again because everybody is tired. They should do the right thing, but they don't want to do. They know the right thing, but they don't want to do it. Is by force or by fire to become the president of Nigeria. Is by force or by fire to become an elected person. The way they chase this position is telling you they're not. Most of them are not coming for service. They are coming there to enrich their pockets. Unlike civil service overseas, one of the live streams I made, I said our governor's house in my state is among neighbors. You see neighbors that, the house is in the street where they have neighbors. You understand? There is no special fence in the governor's house in my state, in the US. There is no special fence, no anything. You will not see police details everywhere. No, because he's still a citizen. He's still a regular person. But these people will go to any length to make sure they capture those seats. And by the time they finish with the election, they don't remember the people that voted them in. So this is the time for the youth to be alive. This is the time for you to still use your BIVAS voters card to go and vote. Don't give up because of what happened the last time. Don't. Remember, like I said I've been saying it is remaining 11 days for all the political parties that are contesting this election that say that they don't agree with this election to go to court. 11 days left. If you don't file petition with the tribunal after the 11th day, because they give you 21 days from the day the election results are declared. If you disagree, you have 21 days to file petition with the election tribunal. And if the 21 days lapse and you did not file, your case is over. They don't do extension of time in that case. They don't do extension of time. So They are doing all these delay taxes, refusing them access to inspect the BVAS so that they don't have any evidence they will go to court with, so that they will not be ready to go to court. Jane said everybody must be accepted in Nigeria, but there there must be rule of law where everybody must obey. Yeah, there is rule of law. They have laws. They made those laws. They passed law. They have a constitution. They have things they are working with. But the thing is that they are not obeying the orders. The executive is not obeying the independency of the judiciary. The judiciary will give orders and they will not obey it, and nothing happens. It has happened countless times, and that is what is happening right now with the INEC and the Court of Appeal and P2B Labor Party and PDP Atiku. That is what is happening now. They've not been given access to inspect the BVAS for their petition because they need to inspect those things, gather their evidence, prepare their case, and go and file petition against this election. All right. Thank you guys for joining me today. You guys are nothing but amazing. Okay, Yusuf said Fela Kuti rest on. He has already seen all these that I didn't get that they used to do. Yeah, Fela saw everything. Everything he said in his song is still happening. And you'll be wondering, when was that Fela song? Was it last year? No. When Fela was on, most of the youths now, they have not been born when Fela started singing. Most of the youth, Nigerian youths, were not born. But look at what he said in his music 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It's still happening. Do you think there is hope for this country called Nigeria? Do you think there is hope? Where INEC will not obey the orders of the Court of Appeal. I'm not even saying it's a customary court. Court of Appeal. That's the second highest court in Nigeria. After Court of Appeal, then Supreme Court. If INEC, that is a government body, cannot obey the rule of law, obey the orders of the court, is he a poor citizen tapping pan wine in the village that will understand what the rule of law is talking about? That is the height of it. Nobody is above the law. Absolutely nobody is above the law. But in Nigeria, they have shown proof that they are above the law. If they are not saying they are above the law, why is INEC up until today? Why is it that they have not granted P2B's Labor Party access to inspect the BIVAS used in the 25th of February presidential election? INEC is telling the citizens, you guys can cry me a river. I don't give a 2 cents. You guys, if you like, jump on the roof. I don't give 2 cents, and you guys cannot do anything. That is what they are doing. They are now showing everybody that in as much as you ran to court, you got, yes, rather, they are working on the order the court gave them, but they have not allowed these people to gather evidence for their petition against the election tribunal. 11 days left. After the 11 days, you cannot petition anymore. All right. Thank you so much for being Nigeria democracy has turned to crazy. Oh, yes. So that's Fela's song, that democracy has turned to crazy. That's Fela's song. INEC is terrible. You think by now the Attorney General of the Federation would have said something or call INEC to order. I checked the Nigerian newspaper headlines this morning before coming live. I didn't see anything like that on the headlines. I went to Nigerian television houses. I did not hear any Attorney General calling anybody to order, or CJ, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, calling anybody to order. I did not see that. I'm not even Mr. President himself. And it's still the same Mr. President said, if you do not agree with the INEC results, go to court. They went to court, they got an order, and now they have not been granted access. The same Mr. President, you will be thinking, you would have said, INEC, what is going on here? Why is it that you haven't granted these people access to inspect the document? None. We are not seeing any of those. So that goes to show that these people are not interested. All right, I'm going to read some other comments. Jane said, INEC chairman must be arrested for wrong election result released to Nigeria. That is the truth. But is it not the same police people that would carry out the arrest? The same police people they use to intimidate people in the election? So I don't see anything working in Nigeria right now. I don't. I don't. John 1 said, why are we just silent? Does this mean INEC is above the law? I don't know. I don't know why people are silent, because I was expecting to be hearing this kind of conversation in it's only Arise News that is talking. Other people should put their mouth. It's not by the time everybody they will go same old, same old. The next thing you are seeing, I went to Wuse Market today. The prices of things are very expensive. I went to Port Harcourt Market. You can't believe how much they are selling crayfish. This is the time for you to use your voice and demand justice. Hold your government accountable. Let there be some kind of accountability here. Hold them accountable. Not tomorrow you start making video and saying the prices of things are too expensive. This is the time to speak. If you don't act now, those prices of things are not going to get better, because they can afford it. Most of them don't know the price of milk in the market, because you know what? They get their things from overseas. That is the fact. But they can afford it and you cannot. So this is the time for you to do the needful. It's not the time for you to destroy your voter's card. No, it's the time for you to go out in this next coming election and vote. Lend your voice. Your voice matter. Your vote counts. Use it. Jane said, Tinubu wants to permit as a president because he's already Jane. I'm just going to leave it there. Nigeria is oh my goodness, it's a criminal enterprise. Criminals are rewarded with titles and glorified in churches, mosques, parties, and other places. The president that shows indifference in court to court judgments. You summed it up here. You summed it up. That's exactly what it is right now. It is what it is, and that's the truth. That's the state of the nation right now. They don't care about what the youth are saying. They don't want to care. They don't even want to give a benefit of a doubt to the judiciary. Judiciary will say something. The legislative arm will not obey. And you tell me there is a country. Oh, no. Oh, no. Nnamdi Kanu has been saying this all the while. Of course he did. Okay, let me even go back a little bit to Nnamdi Kanu. If you think they obey the rule of law in Nigeria, okay, let me go back a little bit. Nnamdi Kanu, Court of Appeal acquitted him, discharged him in some of the charges, and up till now he's still being held by the federal government. If the federal, which is the presidency, which is the executive, is not obeying the court order, you can understand where the genesis is. They don't obey court order. So the judiciary is as good as nothing. They should scrap it so that they will now know they have the legislators and the executives. Since the judicial orders are of no essence. That's just it. If you guys cannot obey, the president did not obey, the INEC people are not obeying, everybody is acting as though they are above the law, they should as well scrap the judiciary so that a common man will now know I don't have any place to get justice. Let me behave myself so quickly because nobody will help me. Honestly, that's the way I say it. It's unfortunate that that's what it is, but it is what it is. So guys, don't forget to like this live stream for me. Give the live stream a thumb up. Leave me your own contribution in the comment section, and then share this video to your contact. We want to be heard. Let our voices be heard. Let the youth speak. Let the youth continue to talk. Hold your politicians accountable. That's how you bring a civilized society. When you allow them to continue to do what they are doing and not holding them accountable, they will continue because they don't feel your pain. They don't feel your pain. All right. I want to thank all of you for joining me today. Stephen Williams, thank you for being here. All of you, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate the conversation in the comment section. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your contribution. This rain they are calling will beat everybody. Absolutely. It will beat everybody. It's unfortunate, but you understand? If you're an Igbo person here, you understand. So people should do the right thing. People should ask for justice. They should ask for justice and hold their politicians accountable. They should hold them accountable. Look at what Desmond Elliot is doing. It's only during the election period that he will remember he has a constituency. He will buy them generator. This year he's buying transformer. I hope people are awake to vote such people out of governance, because they have no empathy whatsoever for the people that put them there in the first place. Governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, is now familiarizing with Lagosians, going to shop to say hello, how are you? Oh, and eating ice cream on the street. Who are they deceiving? Who are they deceiving? Let the youth do the needful. Don't let anybody intimidate you. That your voter's card is your right, is your civic right. You have to exercise it. Carry your friends and go and vote. Don't feel intimidated because of what they did with the presidential election. No. This is the time for you guys to arise in your numbers and go and vote. This is the time. You shook Nigeria. Labour Party, the youth of Nigeria, shook Nigeria. Continue to make this impact because the world is watching. Continue to make this impact. Don't let anything deter you. The world is watching. All right. They went to court to say late petition. Yes, that's what they want to do. Mike, you got it. Mike, you got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. That's what they want to do. They want to delay. Maybe 1 day remaining for them to file. They will tell them, now you can come and inspect the BVAS. Then it might even be since they've been declaring an election at 4 a.m., it might be at 4 a.m. On the next day will be the last day to file. So that they will now say to them, late application of petition for that reason is struck out. You got it, Mike. That's what they are doing. And people should speak up. People should speak up. Call anybody that is not doing the right thing. Call them out. Don't believe this same old. It doesn't concern. It concerns you. Because the price of food in the market, that's when you know it will concern. When you want to make that beautiful, delicious soup, you will see the cost of things in the market. This is the decision time before it gets to the cost of the things in the market. This is the decision time. It concerns you. You might be feeling lackadaisical about the whole situation, but this is the time for action. This is the time for you to do the needful. Election is coming. Go and do a clean sweep. Let power change hand. Try another set of people. And if those people are not acting, you vote them out. That's what the whole essence of democracy. If they are not acting, if they are not doing what you guys put them there to do, you still have the power to tell them, you know what, your time is up. Use the democratic process to the fullest. Don't let anybody intimidate you. They have 11 days to file for this petition. After 11 days, if they don't file, they will tell them late application of permission, the case is dismissed. As simple as that. So guys, I must thank all of you immensely for joining me today. Thank you so much, Mike, for that input. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, Yusuf, Nkechi Cynthia, hi, beautiful. Thank you, guys. Hey, Anna said, I want to say black law is not working. That's why Tinubu tried rigging election by bribing and want to rule by force. Everything is in the hands of the youth to move on in this protest. Yes, the youth, you have the voice, use it. You have the voice, use it. They leave sorrow, tears, blood. They regulate trade. Police don't disappear. Arm don't go away. They leave sorrow, tears, and blood. They regulate tears. Trademarks. That is why Fela. Okay, you're digging in Fela song. Oh my goodness. I wish I can play it here, but because of YouTube restriction, I can't be able to play. Thank you. Okay. Yusuf, for that. I really, really appreciate. This is the time for people, especially the young folks that don't know who Fela is. Just go to Google and type in Fela and democracy, Fela democracy. You will hear everything Fela said in that song. I think the song was done in either 78 or 87, but everything he said in that song is what is happening right now. That is the intimidation the INEC is using because they have the backing of the ruling party. That is what is going on right now. That is what is going on right now. So, guys, I'll be calling today's live stream. I will be saying goodbye and calling it a day today. Join me again on another discussion. But before I do that, I must congratulate all of you for airing your opinion. I must thank all of you for your contribution on today's live stream. You guys are nothing but wonderful. I really appreciate you guys for your immense contribution. And again, I must say, if you're a youth and you're in Nigeria, don't destroy your voters card. Don't lose hope. Don't say you're not going to vote again. Your vote will not be heard. Your vote will be heard. Your vote was heard in the presidential election. See how you guys shook the whole place. Just look at it. Let that give you a little hope to see there might be possibility of a better Nigeria if you don't give up. There might be possibility, but when you give up, there is no possibility at all. This is the time for you to gather your information. If you have any voter thing you took picture of during the election, it counts. When there's times to show the result, if it does not reflect what you have on your phone, you have to speak up. You have to call your party. Look at what I have. You have to lend your voices. This is the time. I want to congratulate all the obedient movement for voting out, for coming out in this election to show Nigerians that the youths are awake, that this is youth time, youth o'clock. And I want to thank all of you for joining me today. Don't give up. Don't give up in this new Nigeria. It's still possible when you don't give up. If you give up, then it's not possible. Speak up. Ask your political person, especially the Labour Party, where you can help. Speak up. Speak up. I want to thank all of you immensely. And my dear friend here, Chema Creative, she has a premiere right now. Please do me well by joining her in her premiere. She dropped the link here on the chat. You can just click on the chat and go and watch her premiere with her right. I'll be going there myself from here. I want to thank all of you. Joe, I really, really appreciate you. You are always here. You are my back end. Thank you so much, Joe, for joining me as always. Trending Jesus Octavia, all of you that I cannot mention all your names. Thank you guys immensely for joining me today. So join Shami Creative Kitchen. Let me see if I'll pin her here. Yeah, she's having a premiere right now. Please do me well by going to join her for her premiere. God bless you guys real good. And remember, youth o'clock. Don't give up. If you give up, that means there is no hope. But when you don't give up, be resilient with your faith. Hold on to your faith. If you have any evidence, look for your Labour Party people to ask them, how do I submit the voters, whatever I have on my phone, the one I took for my polling unit, and use your voice to speak. Use your voice to ask the government to do the right thing. It's not bad. It's not wrong when you ask the government to do the right thing. Hold your government accountable when they are not doing the right thing. I must thank all of you. At this point, internet fight, guys. Use internet to fight back. Yeah, okay. I must thank all of you for joining me today. Thank you guys for being so kind with your time. Join me again on Tuesday. Join me on Thursday and as well on Saturday for another interesting discussion on Oyoyo's World, Oyoyo Ndoki's Kitchen. And if you're watching from Facebook, God bless you real good for joining me today. Until I see you guys next time, remember kindness is a muscle. Get one.